Hey, help if I turn the microphone on. What's going on, y'all? Happy Sunday. Cue the horns. I fucking love it. All right, we gotta figure out when we gotta rent a room. Choice is rich. See karaoke. Put the clothes in the trash. We did. Check down your badge. Alright, I guess we don't have that mission anymore. Alright, so it doesn't tell us time. Come on, fish. You're totally in the fucking way. So let's go do that now, and we'll just come back down here. That seems like the smarter thing to do, because I don't remember what time. This creepy ass fucking place. Yeah, you can't have the mouse, fish. I don't know if our battery can go dead, but it seems like that would be something that could happen. Alright. Oh. Is it always raining? I haven't noticed that. It probably is. I like the music we're watching here.
You're already set for the night. Your door is unlocked.
Oh, is it? Oh, nice. Oh shit, well let's just load it. We didn't do anything. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Alright, let's start looking around this shit again.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black.
So we looked at everything, but we haven't interacted. Cam, what is this thing? A furnace? Look inside.
Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the chimney.
He opens the door and gingerly peeks inside.
No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire. Only dead rats.
Let's look in.
It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other. Near the smoke chamber, upstairs. The echo is so prominent,
Nice.
it's impossible to discern what the voices are saying or what's producing them.
What are you doing?
The lieutenant asks when he sees you climb halfway into the furnace. I'm hallucinating, or maybe it's the entity. I hear the murderer of the hangman talking. I'm not sure, Kim, but I think I can hear someone talking upstairs.
Wait, really? Maybe it's coming from behind those safety curtains we saw upstairs.
Yell hello into the furnace. place that says it lives in the chimney.
You're right. The rooms do look like they're connected. But malignant entities don't exist. At least not the supernatural kind.
Okay, Kim.
Always has to be the skeptic, this man. A lush layer of coal now covers your skin, sinking into the wrinkles. Your hands look ancient.
Why did we do that?
You feel the spirit of Ramut Karzai, ancient hero of Grad, pulsing through you. All that's left is to cover your face in war paint.
Well, let's not express ourselves. Just wipe your hands clean on your pants. Fuck it.
3 dangerous stripes appear onto your cheeks, telling
We're
stories
like-
of your wild soul.
What are you doing?
I am the reincarnation of the ancient Lemurian warrior.
Please wipe your face clean, officer.
No, you're a proud warrior. Keep it.
Ooh, -1 authority. We got a +1 because Kim trusts us.
You can feel
Damn.
your cheeks turn red under the lieutenant's gaze. You look like a kid, not a police officer. Even the war paint can't conceal the embarrassment.
Thank you.
All right.
So, where were we?
I don't know if we should do this. Fuck it.
You muster all your strength and yell.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. We had an 83% chance of getting that.
Your throat can produce little more than a dry croak. Awkward, since you already had a drink. A lifetime of smoking and drinking will do that to you. The chatter from the chimney continues on as before. You seem to have made no impression on whatever's up there. Then again, maybe it's worth actually trying something up there.
Maybe you should let your voice rest, officer. Try again later.
No, that's gonna hurt us. All right. So what else did we have down here? We got to look at the body again. Oh, did we come up here? Did we flip
2
the fuse
cables
box?
are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby.
Yeah, we don't want to unplug the bear. No, that's what we need to do. We need to come back in here.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Where are we?
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache. There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
Your hand
do
reaches
it.
deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away. Most of them are
Effective.
rusty and inoperable, like the rest, but one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others.
Yeah, this one looks nice.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still, beautiful thing in its own way.
Yeah, it's not what he said, but okay.
It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
He likes this find.
All right, we got a gun. I guess we can't equip that, eh? All right, we're strapped now, homie. Alright, let's look at this body.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly.
Stop wasting time, you're smart. +1, look in the mouth. -1, establish probable cause. +2, refrigerate the body. Tell me something, dead man.
Shoot, Looney Rooney.
How do you like the fridge?
I like it a lot, brother. This really is your finest hour. You're a genius. A regular Corpelangelo. Come back later, Corporal.
Bag him,
Amuse
take him away,
yourself
Kim.
with my
We'll take
frank
the body away
manners
without further
and my
examination.
memento mori features.
Just take the
If
note from him.
possible.
You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
Does
A
everyone
friendly
remember?
cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy
bear.
cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge or the decomposing body in it. The paper still smells of vanilla and chocolate. Even under this stench, you can feel it.
What is this giant pear-shaped fridge doing in an abandoned cellar in the first place?
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge.
Right here. You know, if you want to lay in front of me, fish, lay right there. Okay? That's where you go. So they tried to sell ice cream from this
I know.
hyper carnivore?
What an unfortunate marketing choice. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
Lieutenant points to the red streaky cable running from the fridge.
The electricity bill must be catastrophic. On the other hand, it did help us with a certain corpse situation.
Lucky us.
Fuck it.
You touch the dead man's body. His skin is cold, light blue and silvery in the light of the fridge. You still have no idea where to begin, or what to even do with him.
It'll come to you sooner or later. At least he's safe here until then.
Well, boo! Alright, let's go back upstairs. And see if we can find something with those pipes. Did we come up here?
As before, an iron safety curtain curves before your eyes. It covers half the room, blocking the way into a colossal industrial chimney. This is directly above the central furnace in the cellar. The voices probably came from here.
Hello?
Again, your voice becomes a raspy croak mid-sentence. It's silent in the abandoned office building. No one answers you. A sudden bout of self-pity comes over you. Sire, may we suggest something? Think of the yelling into the furnace
drama.
as a grand performance. Use your chest voice, not your head voice. Sing from the diaphragm. Perhaps it's not such a bad idea. Try it again, son. The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece
Wait,
of
I'm sorry, we didn't
lined
read
office
this.
paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Does it say anything interesting?
Until leans closer to read the crumpled note over your shoulder.
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active. Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker.
Oh.
Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Suliswaf.
I wonder who wrote that.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here.
Maybe they had to leave in a hurry.
That's a plausible hypothesis.
Remind me
It
again?
belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape. You listen to disco tapes, right? It's like one of your disco tapes, only for a computer.
It's like the production schedule you found. Only this one's an off-site copy.
No, who's the little
Really?
ginger kid?
You don't have a single guess?
You mean Kuno?
Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter. I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the ice bear fridge.
Didn't you see one right next to the breaker box?
I did, but I didn't. Does someone live here? Oh, do we need our bag? What did we get for this? No, that doesn't help us. All right, let's go back down the stairs of the basement. And let's get the filament first.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water dripping. It's all gone now. You'll never become a poet or an entrepreneur. What better to assuage the creeping sense of failure than some frozen fat and sugar?
You got it, baby.
You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to get a good grip. A pry bar would come in handy here. If you want to try again, then you need to have the pry bar in your hand, detective.
Equip the pry bar by going
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
tool
yeah, we
stand in
got you. But I bet it's still going to be...
Two cables
cool.
are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one, something close to you, dies with a soft electric purr.
Why did you do that?
It's black. It's not like the red one because it's black, the color of a visual cosmos. It's black. It's not like it's the red
The
one.
lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. The electric distribution board now has one cable missing.
All right, let's pry this bitch
This
open.
orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice
Better
around
grip
it
with gloves.
slowly
Machine is
melted.
unplugged.
The ice squeaks
Yeah.
beneath the pry bar. You think you've got the bar jammed in there pretty well, but the lid simply won't budge.
What is
You
this?
see the pry bar's metal handle bending right before your very eyes.
Are we gonna break
Yeah,
our
well,
pry bar?
That's a good pry bar. I'm not criticizing it, but this ice cream maker is frozen shut. It takes an advanced tool to get it open.
Advanced. Where did we get one?
I have no idea, officer. This ice cream maker isn't important enough to requisition a special tool.
Sooner or later, you will stumble upon a tool mighty enough. Then we will know what's in this mysterious ice cream maker.
Alright, give me back my clipboard. Alright, let's go sing from the diaphragm.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. Something breaks loose in
There we go.
A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then,
Hello?
You hear a woman's voice answer.
you've awakened the entity.
It's the police.
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open
You hear a low rumble upstairs, the sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
Hey,
After
there
you,
we go.
officer.
A hollow ring echoes through the furnace.
I
Your
figured that
toe
would happen.
hurts.
Alright, what's it save? So this is like inside the bookstore? Like, this is weird, because the lady like wouldn't let us back in through the bookstore is how we got here. Let's take a look around. Tray full of dice, colorful polyhedral dice, hundreds of them. The candy dispenser has been repurposed to contain thousands of dice. What is this lady doing up here?
Hello. I'm Nia.
A bird-like woman sits on a throne of jewels, with emerald light shining through her hair.
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Melius.
She taps on her headphones.
So what kind of die are you looking for?
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now. She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
Hold on, what do you mean by Milius?
Yes, a Melius is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these.
She pats the headphones on the table.
Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
You must have me confused with someone else. I haven't knocked on your window.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind?
Yeah, she's all about some RPGs, huh?
I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Her bones light, but her hands strong. Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
Answers.
Very good. My rate is 10 real per set. Unless you want something really unusual.
Okay.
Take a look around and see if there is any particular stone you want to use.
The walls around her are covered with rows of precious stones and minerals.
It almost looks as if the stones and dice are a natural part of the room, growing out of the shelves like stalagmites. This person means you, or no one else, absolutely no harm. She will answer freely and honestly. No falsehoods are present. She's a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything to hide. Ask what you need.
How'd you become
How
a
did
diamond?
I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition.
Yeah, I bet.
Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dyes out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there.
Do you like
Not
them yourself?
especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers? They're nice people.
Some of those nice people have big bucks to spend on novelty items.
I bet they do.
She's thankful for the security they provide her.
What do you know about the man who was lynched?
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
Who cares about the dead body? We might be dealing with a malignant entity here. The lieutenant looks at his notebook, then the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
Oh, you got something.
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my
Go lay
window.
down, fish.
Well,
Really ruckus.
there's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard.
She stops and tries to come up with an example.
During daytime, there are usually those kids. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike.
She's heard of the murder, but did not see it, sire.
But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid.
Are you off at work Sunday nights?
It's an odd profession, making dice for people. But I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting at home.
Oh, yeah, every time your eyes after work to look
I
out the
might
window.
have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness.
Yeah.
It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone.
I see.
She nods.
Anything else, officer? We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know.
She looks at the ruddy bricks that make up the walls, and even they've been repainted, there are still signs of black coal soot here and there.
But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Yeah.
Plaisance was right. There's an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the curse.
Creative.
Lieutenant looks around the spacious room. Its ceiling fading into the shadows above. You know what happened to the other tenants? Everyone
More or
else is gone.
less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
Oh, quite a lot of them spring to mind.
There used to be a hair salon.
Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
You wouldn't like it either. The others would laugh at you.
That's
A
funny.
bit of experimenting every now and then isn't bad.
What's wrong with a little bit of experimenting? The customer should have been more open-minded.
I guess it just wasn't the time yet.
She tucks a strand of hair underneath her headscarf. What happened to the
It
gym?
wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemiteps Boxing Club, a community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime.
And who was
A
Art, or
kind
whatever his name
man
is?
from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym, as his way of giving back.
Maybe that's what Kuno needs.
Kuno? Who's Kuno?
Sort of a king around here. He's a ginger gremlin and likes to defile dead bodies. Indeed, who is Kuno?
Oh yes, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth.
fucking
Yes, I
Kuno.
heard him yelling profanities in the backyard.
She looks out the window. It's oddly quiet there at the moment.
I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid.
How did the community project
It
work
didn't.
out?
If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
Ooh.
You should have known it. It's not really full of that. No one would store their drugs like that.
Really?
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since.
What's up with the broken windows?
Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right? Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff milias. Who would have guessed?
What's the snuff milieu?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own.
Cool. Very cool about the debris. Well, what's a snuff balloon?
It's a Sub Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims. Some
Oh,
people
wow.
pay good money to get off on it.
Nothing changes in her tone as she says that, as if it's just another piece of information to lay out for the world.
Kind of is.
What does she mean to get off on it?
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-roses. This isn't our problem.
Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators.
Then she lets the thought go. Did someone here make stuffed animals? I saw a mouse lying around.
You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs.
But what drugs exactly?
For my police report, of course. What
He
drugs?
got high on some weird taxidermy chemicals. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Eventually, they caused him to lose control of his bladder. The smell was
Ugh.
awful.
Even you can probably do better than that. You can almost see it. A small, sickly old man, hunched behind his work desk, his pants stained with old piss, stuffing a sad, stiff-legged raccoon dog. The entire scene looks tragic.
Oh, I found creepy mannequins.
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came.
Insect rights activists? What in the name of?
Mm-hmm. The atelier produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And
Okay.
you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection.
Oh. I'm glad that someone took care of the little guys. I like insects.
Really? Anyway,
She looks at the windowsill where a dead fly is lying on his back, legs curled up in a bow tie.
Poor guy. Suddenly, you get a feeling that insects are important to the case somehow. It's hard to say why.
Okay. Insects.
they were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money.
She rests her chin on her hand with an impish smile.
Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tiumotiri or Hashkor or wherever he is.
Interesting. What do these say?
The usual, I imagine. that he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them just as soon as he returns.
Her smile widens before she sees the lieutenant's face.
Men like that are a curse.
Lieutenant is turning.
Sure, but Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those keys and blades are still lying around in the house. Not much use now, I guess.
They were just the props. Why return them?
I found a strange
Fortress
machine.
Accident, the radio game studio.
She closes her eyes as some of the remnant of memory lights up her
She
face.
liked them.
They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Wirral. They certainly took their work very seriously.
They got no fight.
Even if they seem to be chronically liberal with their schedules.
What does that
The
mean?
usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time.
What went wrong?
Well, I did hear them talking at times.
She was halfway. She looks at the hallway as if she can still hear them chit-chat behind her curtain on a cigarette break.
They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
She sounds almost mocking when she says that.
From what I've seen so far, the project did look quite impressive.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic, and to show up to work on time.
Showing up to work on time is hard. No, scratch that. Showing up to work at all is difficult, especially if you've been drinking.
Oh, showing up to work on time is incredibly hard. Too bad, I would have supported them. The project looked great.
Not the wisest decision. You would have lost all your savings.
She tosses a pair of dice on the table. One of them stops near the edge of the metallic desk.
The result is 1 on a 20-sided die. The dice is black and filled with little silvery flakes, like snowfall.
Anything else?
Yep, there was a terrifying taxidermy bear in the cellar.
Oh boy, the fabled Revachol ICT. You're in for a treat here.
She smiles and leans closer, hands on her knees, like a stand-up comedian ready to tell a story.
The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
Indeed, what were the other ideas?
Alright, what about the other ideas?
There was really just one, and it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth. And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
She leans back disapprovingly.
Sounds like she really didn't like those girls. Fritta does the same thing.
I know a girl just like that. She works in Frida at the cashier, and she's not particularly friendly.
Employing Soki teenage girls is a widespread practice, yes. Unfortunately, they always come in packs. I'm talking about acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the shop. At least that's what happened with Revachol ICT.
It's your problem.
And they already had the bear.
What about the bear?
The bear.
She repeats, pressing her thumbs in her temples like trying to suppress a headache. It didn't work
Of
out.
course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To
Yeah.
make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted.
Okay, that's not good.
Eventually, Revachol ICT lost the price war to its rival, Glace 5000. Glace 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges.
Sure, the bear was doing the best. The bear was scary. Every time I saw the bear, I felt scared, like it would come alive any moment.
Maybe, Because the taxidermist who made that bear definitely wasn't doing his best, I mean. He said that the bear was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. Called it Megatherion.
Therian?
Sounds cool.
Megatherion, a mega wild beast.
What's a mega wild
It's
beast?
an imaginary beast that guides you through life. By telling you to do more drugs, mostly.
A wise and noble beast, guiding you toward the land where the streets are paved with drugs.
I do
Do
drugs.
you? Well, good luck keeping it under control. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire.
She seems almost sad, finishing the story. Some dust beams swirl in the afternoon air. Her eyes follow it.
Little sparkling embers under the window.
Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? I've been here for...
intercom.
Oh,
It's not
right.
working.
I hope you didn't try to ring me.
She rubs her forehead. Her scarf has a faint line on her dusky skin. Is it done?
I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion.
The doorbell with the empty name card must belong to her then.
So you're telling me the doorbell with the empty name card was yours?
That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet.
I was wondering about the Whirling of Rags. Is it part of the same building complex?
You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East Delta Commerce Center project. That explains why you can call the whirling from the intercom, albeit I doubt that anyone responds.
If the whirling is part of the same building, then it's part of the Dune commercial area. The darkness of this place is there, too.
I saw a name, East Delta Pinball.
Right. It used to be a gaming arcade. This is an ancient failure, before my time. I'm not surprised, however. My advice? Don't base your business on a fad. Hypnotism, floriography, trick-track, especially pinball.
Agreed. Pinball is the worst.
I
His
like pinball.
disdain for pinball could not be clearer.
Strange thing happened when I tried calling a company named Slipstream. Somebody answered.
It can't be true. They don't work here anymore. They've been gone for years. Are you sure it was Slipstream SEA? Was it a woman? Maybe it was Plaisance from the bookstore.
So she was from Tricentennial Electronics?
Oh, right. But did this person say anything? Tricentennial Electrics?
There's a moment before she recognizes the
It
name.
used to be a major electric company 100 years ago. Are you sure it wasn't just some kids playing a prank on you?
No, it was something else. It was eerie. It was too real to be just a prank. Either we're
Okay.
dealing with a professional actress, or...
Pranks can be eerie.
She looks as if she's still convinced. There's nothing to be worried about.
Oh, the kids these days. We were just one of them, and now they're terrorizing us. No solidarity. Sure, I'm listening. I'm pretty sure it still doesn't work, but sure. What do you want to know? Sure, I'm listening. Good.
Questions?
I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
This place is
I've heard
cursed.
the stories, but I don't think those stories are true.
How do you explain what happened to all the companies here?
Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energy spared her somehow?
She's a white woman. She has a seamless trinkets protecting her and a curse. Actually, the bookstore isn't doing that well. There are hardly any customers. She has to exploit her own daughter to keep the company going. The curse is just biding its time before it strikes again. I don't know, the bookstore hasn't gone bankrupt yet. That's why I'm here to investigate.
Alright. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex.
Its waitress just took off and customers have trouble paying their bills.
And then there is me.
All kinds of tools lie there scattered, from knives, carving files to wire
I've
cutters.
been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse.
Why you just think it's because you're the source of it? You're competent and dedicated to your craft. Yeah, but just to
Malignant
be honest.
entity? What does that even mean? Some kind of sorceress? What about you, officer? Do you think I'm the malignant entity?
Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest.
I think it still might be you that's causing this. I'm starting to see that there isn't a curse, only business decisions and natural market fluctuations.
So I'm the Grand Dragon in the cave. Might I ask what supports this claim?
I yelled to summon the ghost of the Doom commercial area, and you were the one who answered. There's something ghostly about you. No?
Oh my, I've revealed myself. You better call the exorcists.
I don't have to call anyone. I'm a ghost whisperer myself.
Of course. How convenient.
She pinches the root of her nose.
Well, if you ever find a way to explain all those inconsistencies in the curse, then let me know.
That's all she has to say on the subject. She has been thorough and truthful, as far as we can see. Plaisance needs to hear about this. Perhaps if you combine your psychic energies, you will make sense of the situation. Guillaume Le Million.
Ew.
Bad news. Guillaume Le Million did not become a cop. In 38, he went on a tour to the Sinyao province in Safre, where he died of autoerotic asphyxiation. His body was found hanging from a decorative dragon tree in his junior suite, amid drug paraphernalia, unwholesome objects, and the Sylvia Trainer single, Wonderland, skipping in the background. And yes, you can take this as a metaphor for Revachol in the 30s, and also as a warning.
+1 plane threshold. It's a good one. That is a good one. Investigate the Doom commercial area, report back to Plaisance with your findings. Alright, so we gotta get in that freezer still.
Looks like someone tried to reconceptualize their business here.
I don't get it.
Look, the skis and rotor blades both bear the same Slipstream logo. It seems likely that they started out making one, failed to turn a profit, and then pivoted to producing the other.
But the question is, what should they start with? What should they pivot to? What a strange leap of imagination. Are they still failed? How sad. That's just speculation.
That's a good question.
What a strange leap of imagination, and yet they still failed.
Reality is ruthless.
Alright, this is where we came in at. Where's the intercom in here? Alright, alright. Alright, looks like we can't look for the drugs in the boxing bag. The heavy bag.
What have you found?
Shine a light right in her
Also,
face.
do buy the books. There may be teachings in them. A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep.
She's not a sorceress or a malicious entity. She's a businesswoman like you. No, ma'am. I have felt her aura. She's not the one to blame for this curse.
I don't understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse?
The narrative she's built herself, it does need tearing down. Just don't say you don't have any answer yet. The uncertainty is killing her. To hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire. You've come this far. You know how to end it. There is an entity behind the entity.
Alright, she says there is no curse because there are too many inconsistencies. Lie. The source is a taxidermist shop. He became involved in an arts darker than taxidermy and brought the void spirits upon his place. I honestly don't have any answers yet. There are still needs to be followed, like the strange radio computer thing. There is another entity more malignant, pulling the strings in Martinez. Perhaps in my travels I will cross paths with it. Oh, what do we want to do here? Yeah.
Too many inconsistencies. What kind of talk is that?
The woman scoffs at you with notable snow.
Good luck persuading her. Some people can rationalize anything.
You're one of those.
I am not doing as well as it looks like I am. I only have my Simone's wards to thank for the protection they provide.
Alright, she's been there for a minute.
Because her business consists of the psychic leech that's been feeding the curse.
Red blotches appear on her
I
skin.
see that you've fallen for her manipulation, Detective. The investigation is over. I just hope that you haven't made anything worse by going in there. Thank you for nothing. Please, do buy some books, or be on your way.
Wow. Total psychic collapse between you two right now. There was never any other way this could have gone. She's just too far gone into her own mind.
I am sorry we had to disappoint you, ma'am. Can we go now?
Oh, what was the Shivers one? Why is it got a crown? What did we need for the bear? And there's another exit we can take down there too, so I want to see where that goes. That would be interesting to see.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing
Perception.
corpse hidden inside its belly.
Cafeteria window, eh? Alright, let's try this
The
again.
bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over your arm
Nice.
reaches out and your eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, dead flesh through the latex glove. It's right under the palm of your hand.
What is this?
His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a rubber spider, your gloved hand crawls on his features. Everything is silent, all around.
Crawl up his
They
nostrils.
are swollen shut. You need to really push to get in. Only the little one fits. The flesh changes shape as you bore in, searching for something in the cartilage. The thing you're looking for, it's not there. Crawl out, spider.
Let's squeeze his nose.
You pick it between your fingers. The mass feels large, very porous somehow. Keep crawling, lest you break it.
That's fucking gross.
The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop. You're on the right track.
Play with it.
The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, fragile, even through the latex. From the soft meat, teeth are budding. Hard pearls of bone in the gums and in the back of the mouth. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaws open now. Look in. A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from his throat. And there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate,
Come on.
you see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius, the edges appear darkened. An abrasion collar. This is what we're after.
Say fuck yeah.
Keep going.
A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound. Your index fits right in there. A
Ew.
tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brainstem.
Brainstem?
Yes, that's what this part is called. You've seen the drawings. You've studied them. The basal ganglia feels clumpy. What entered here has torn apart his reptilian complex. This man will never sleep again, never wake. Your yellow fingers slide into the remains of the limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres. The undulations of the limbic system have ended. All is quiet.
There's a cavity cut right between the hemispheres.
The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper.
Push deeper.
Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow. All the muscles in your body harden. Time to enter him.
Punch a hole through his mouth, wriggle in.
Your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly. Cold jelly. Strange fluid streams down your wrist as you push deeper until you feel it on the tip of your finger. Ice cold serrated metal. Its edges cut right through the latex and into your finger.
Ew.
The pain is barely noticeable under the adrenaline rush.
I feel a solid object right underneath the skull.
Can you get to it?
He searches his pockets for something. Inspects the
There's a
skull
tiny
first.
crack, a protrusion in the cranium, right in the back of his head. Your finger must be pointing straight at it, from the inside. The object that is in there
Okay,
stops
so he was
just
knocked
short
out
of the
first.
skull, in the encephalus, knocking this tiny fracture into the cranium.
We have the makings of a very small exit wound here.
All right, let's do it. So did he get shot?
You pick the object between your index and middle finger. Feels sharp, like metal. You press your teeth together. Your jaw is clenched. All you need to do is just...
Slowly pull your fingers
The inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove. Sweat dripping down your brow. Careful not to lose the prize between your fingers. With a plop, your hand emerges from the mouth. The garden glove is covered in blood right up to the wrist. Between your fingers, a small flower, a blossom made of lead.
A bullet.
The lieutenant puts a small, big marked evidence under it. All right, so
The
he was
bullet
shot.
falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood on the plastic. He raises the bag under his eyes and says,
A non-calibre. Rifled. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on impact. Of course. You deserve it.
Taps the bag in the right hand. It feels light.
We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion collar. Soft palate, back of mouth. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound?
Oh, sounds like heaven.
Opinion, fatal injury.
Goddamn
And
right.
one last thing. We should amend injury number 3. Ligament mark. New opinion, non-fatal. Post-mortem. Treatment.
he's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death, and the hanging an attempt to conceal this fact.
Ligament mark. The fractured hypovoid. It was all treatment?
Treatment, officer, is an attempt to manipulate the body after death, to hide the real cause with a false cause. In this case, this injury here.
Ligament mark. The fractured neck. It was all
Yes, and the belt around his neck, the hanging, even dragging him to the yard. All of it was done after this man was already dead.
treatment. Dead dabba doop doop.
Dead.
You think so?
I did not just come up with this. I've had my doubts since you showed me the tracks, officer. Why did they carry him over? Why not march him? There is no satisfactory explanation. There have been other signs too. Small details. Everything is too neatly designed for us to assign probable cause here, as we did, full-heartedly. Well, no more.
We almost fell for it, he thinks. Almost. There is, of course, the very real possibility he was both shot and hanged.
Maybe they just shot him while they hanged him? Who would do this?
That's for us to find out. But this, it will make finding them just a little easier. To put him out of his misery? It's possible, but it does not explain all the other dubious things here.
Yeah, I agree with
Lack
Kim.
of struggle, primarily. I may be intellectually sloppy, but I prefer one theory at a time. And this just smacks of treatment to me. To hide something. The real killer? The real motivation? What
Think
really
we did it?
happened here?
I think we did it, maybe. I think I need to wash myself.
Oh, you really, really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling in Rags should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening.
Maybe the bullet holes
Yes,
are answers.
we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day.
You'll be gone. What should I do in the meanwhile?
Work on the case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood like this.
Oh,
I'll
we're
leave
by
that choice
ourselves.
to you. And one more thing. Great work, detective.
After you bag the corpse, Lieutenant Kitsuragi will leave the party until tomorrow morning. You can do side tasks, and even the main case, but it might be more difficult. Plan his exit accordingly.
We gotta talk to that dude still. Alright, after 2100. Oh, we gotta go call Alice back.
The bullet is safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp. Kim has filled out the label on the bag with the item number, case number, and date and location the bullet was found. Beside his orderly handwriting, the bullet looks especially sad, like a tiny, shriveled head of cauliflower.
Phew. What do I do with the bullet?
What?
I said, what do I do with it?
Well, if I was the bullet, which I'm not, I would say, find the weapon that shot me. If we find who owns it, we will have likely found who used it, possibly to kill our victim. In conclusion, the more we know about this bullet of yours, the better.
Feel the bullet through
The
the bag.
squashed bullet has some sharp edges where the jacket has split open. It feels cold, even through the bag. You wouldn't ordinarily have cause to handle jacketed bullets. The citizens' militia uses cast bullets only. Little pebbles of metal loaded from the muzzle, usually in a cartridge. The jacket of the bullet is made of a yellowish metal. It has blossomed out to reveal a dark grey core. The base of the bullet is close to 5 millimeters in diameter. You can just about make out a few striations near the base of the bullet. Little hairlines, linear. It feels standard.
And the core?
It's quite destroyed. Some of the fragments are still lodged in the wound.
What can you say about the bullet so far?
It's jacketed bullet, close to 5 millimeters in
A
diameter.
jacketed bullet. Okay. It would have been shot from a military-grade breech-loading rifle, not from a muzzleloader like those typically found on the streets of Martinez.
Highly unusual. The people of Revachol haven't carried breech-loading weapons like this for nearly half a century.
Even the RCM uses ordinary unjacketed conical bullets. This is strange. Very strange. I like this, officer. Strange means unique. Unique means incriminating. We need to find the gun that shot it.
Something tells you that won't be any time soon. This'll have to be one of those epic tasks that's open for a while.
I have a similar rifle on hand. +1. Aware of the name of the antique rifle you found. Fuck it. Let's go.
A rifle, Revolutionary period. Your bullet looks to be an old 4.46 millimeter from the surplus left over from the turn of the century. Probably an antique or a retrofitted antique. The 4.46 caliber was widely used with the Belmargrave rifle, a Revacholian manufacturer. The BM dominated the battlefields of the Insulindian theater of the anti-centennial revolution 50 years ago.
Okay.
Incidentally, you have just such a rifle with you. The dusty old thing you found hidden in the basement below the commercial area. It's unusable, sadly. If it were, the bullet would probably fit the chamber.
Anyone still making
No,
these?
but Zeliger, a major firearm manufacturer, ended up with a surplus after the war. So there are still a lot of these old military rifles floating around, usually broken. The quality was appalling.
Well, who uses them?
Antiques enthusiasts, guerrilla fighters in distant countries, a few lucky jamrock bangers. You're looking for the same thing you found in that hidden weapons cache, only in working order.
What are you thinking? Bullet?
I think I know where this came from. Dangled the bag thoughtfully.
Okay. And?
From a Belmargrave.
An antique. That makes sense. There can't be many breech-loading rifles floating around in Martinez, or anywhere in Ravachol, really. Sure, there's some arms trafficking, but the laws prohibiting the use of breech loaders we inherited from the monarchy have been effective, from what I've seen. Some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzle loaders once they've trained with military-grade weapons, but they realize it's worth it in the end.
Okay.
Prohibiting peacetime law enforcement to front-loaded rifles is a policy enforced by the Moralist International in all the nations of the Real Belt.
Worth what? Getting shot?
Imagine if everyone, cops, citizens, had access to firearms that could shoot multiple rounds without pausing to reload. After the first shot, the second, third, and so on come much easier. But back to the
Man's got a
investigation.
point. An antique enthusiasts? Could the victim have mixed up with some foreign guerrilla fighters?
Doesn't seem that likely, but we'll check out all possible leads. Next step, finding the gun itself.
The bullet has nothing more to say. Do we want to unlock another one? Let's do it. All right. I'm wondering if where is this going to come out at? Oh.
An old call box, East Delta Commerce Center. You hear static from the intercom speaker. It sounds as if you can almost hear them breathe.
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electric. Have you come
She
Oh, yeah, we
sounds
did this
almost
already.
antique, as if her voice was being played off an old wax cylinder. A receiver must not be working properly.
My God.
The lieutenant exchanges a look with you.
Yo, what's going on here?
It's you. My God. I didn't think I would hear your voice.
It's a woman, and she knows you. Your heart beats faster. Who cares that you don't remember her? Just go along with it. No, something's wrong here. Are you sure she's talking to you?
Michelle, just please.
She stops, you can hear her breathe heavily. Her breath is distorted by ancient static.
Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't care.
Of course I care,
Ever
baby.
since I came to work here, it's different. As if my mind's been wiped clean.
A spot of static overrides her words. When she speaks again, it sounds like she's submerged.
It's so nice. It's so nice to be able to finally meet again.
She sounds like she's about to cry. She doesn't answer. Silence. The only thing you can hear now is static and waves washing ashore on the bay. Another
happened?
seagull passes by. It's getting cold standing here, staring at the silent call box.
I don't know what happened either. We should probably stop playing with this thing.
You press the number sign on the keypad that terminates the call. 12 name cards. This button looks new, but
This button looks new. I wouldn't be surprised if it hasn't been connected yet. Is it the dice makers?
It sure is.
inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Yeah, have you heard back with
No,
ICP on the
and
serial
I
number?
doubt they'll get back to me before tomorrow morning. Anything else? Just a second. Sylvie Malaika on the... Yes. Hello?
Hey, it's police
Oh,
again.
great. What else do you need?
You hear the call.
Anything else I can help you with, officer? Right. Please.
10-4, come in. Fireworker, over. Roger that, 10-10.
Alright, we're done here. I want to talk to that guy. Let's go buy some smokes and get Kuno on our side. We sure don't save enough.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
A colorful display of cigarettes.
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. Here you go, mister.
Alright, I want to smoke one. But I don't want to smoke the whole pack, because I don't know how this is going to work. We're going to save it.
There it is. A brave little army in your pocket. The first Smokes platoon. 20 brave souls standing in salute, ready to step into fire for you, sir. You picked the best one. This soldier is fat and succulent. What are you waiting for? Light up. Re-become yourself. Get a load of this
We don't have a
rock and
lighter.
roll cop here, people. Johnny Thundercop fishes a cheap lighter out of his pants.
Okay.
With a flick of the thumb, there's fire. A primal satisfaction. Here we go. The lighter's dark green disposable plastic. Safety's off. In your case, the safety is always off.
What are the repercussions if I do this?
Repercussions? There's a high risk of glory, with a mild chance, cool genius. Smoking makes you into an intellectual. Everybody knows that. It will help you concentrate a bit. That much is true. Thick, warm smoke gets sucked down into your lungs. Immediately, you feel a warm nostalgia fill your head, body, and soul. A nostalgia for yourself. The man you were in your youth. Johnny Thundercop is back, and he's chill as balls.
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a cigarettes button. Cigarettes gives +1 to intellect skills. Logic, rhetoric, conceptualization, visual calculus, encyclopedia, and drama. This is good before a white check, but damages your health.
Alright, let's go give one to Kuno. No, we're not. We're gonna have to stop right there. It is that time. Who's that? And how did we get under the roof of the Whirling Rags? Interesting. How do we get down that alley?
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that...
Alright, we'll save it right here and we'll fuck with Kuno next time. Kuno's fucking electricity. 20,000 volts. Kuno volts. Alright, y'all. Drop a like if you haven't already. Drop a sub if you're new. I'm out.